Topical collagen creams, do they actually work? Recently, my medical assistant was asking me about the Her Plus Calcium Collagen Cream, and that got me wondering all over again about topical collagen. If skin loses collagen with age, can you really put collagen back on top and have it soak in and rebuild what you've lost? That sounds logical. That sounds smart, and it is exactly why collagen creams sell so well. But here's the catch. Topical collagen and actual collagen loss inside the skin are not the same thing. If we haven't met yet, I'm a dermatology PA named Beth, and today I'm going to break down what the science actually says about topical collagen, why molecule size matters so much, and whether any collagen products might penetrate better if the collagen is made smaller or packaged in a special delivery system, and where products like Neutrogena Collagen Bank fit into all of this. Before I go further, if you like evidence-based skincare explained in plain English, make sure you're on my email list because that is where I send extra skin tips and my customized skincare plan. Let's start with the biggest myth. A lot of people hear collagen cream and assume that means the collagen is soaking in, going down into the dermis and rebuilding the collagen network that gets thinner as we age. That is generally not how standard topical collagen works. The classic 500 Dalton rule says compounds usually need to be under about 500 Daltons to pass through the stratum corneum, that's the top layer, well by passive diffusion. That rule is not perfect and not absolute, but it is still a very useful reality check when you're looking at skincare claims. Here's why that matters. Native collagen is a very large molecule. A commonly cited range for native collagen is about 285 to 300 kilodaltons, which means roughly 285,000 to 300,000 daltons. By contrast, hydrolyzed collagen peptides are often around 3 to 6 kilodaltons. So even when collagen is broken into smaller pieces, it's still much bigger than the 500 Dalton benchmark, just dramatically smaller than intact collagen. So if you compare about 300,000 Daltons for native collagen to roughly 500 Daltons as a common passive penetration benchmark, you can see the problem immediately. That is like trying to push a couch through a mail slot. The skin barrier is not built for that. It's built to keep things out, actually. And this lines up nicely with how Michelle, who's a PhD chemist from Lab Muffin, I really like her. She explains penetration more broadly. She notes that larger ingredients like collagen, hyaluronic acid, petrolatum, and sunscreens can often work at the surface of the skin, so they do not need to penetrate deeply to still do something useful. Now, that does not mean collagen creams are useless. This is where I want to be fair. If a collagen cream makes your skin feel smoother, softer, and more hydrated, that can absolutely be real. Large molecules can form a moisturizing film on the surface, reduce water loss, and make the skin look temporarily plumper and smoother. But that is very different from proving that intact collagen is rebuilding your dermal collagen network. So the most accurate statement is this. Regular intact collagen in a cream is usually too large to meaningfully penetrate and rebuild deeper collagen. But surface hydration and temporary smoothness are still possible. Now here's where the story gets more interesting. What if the collagen is broken down into smaller pieces? A 2020 review on collagen hydrolyzed says native collagen is not able to penetrate the stratum corneum because of its high molecular weight, around 300 kilodaltons. That same review discusses work suggesting that about 8% of hydrolyzed collagen in the 5 to 13 kilodalton range penetrated skin in an experimental setting. That does not mean these products are all rebuilding the dermis like a procedure or a prescription retinoid. But it does suggest that smaller collagen fragments may not behave exactly like intact collagen. So this is the key distinction I want you to remember. Intact collagen and hydrolyzed collagen, or collagen peptides, are not the same conversation. Now let's go one step further. Have any companies created collagen creams with a special delivery system that might penetrate better? The answer is possibly yes, but with a very big asterisk. A 2022 pilot study called Effect of a Topical Collagen Tripeptide on Anti-Aging and Inhibition of Glycation of the Skin reported improvements in wrinkles, elasticity, and density with a topical collagen tripeptide formulation. That's not the same as taking ordinary intact collagen and rubbing it on the skin. A collagen tripeptide is much smaller and is a different category of ingredient. Another 2022 paper called A Novel Facial Cream based on skin penetrable fibrillar collagen microparticles reported that its specialized collagen particles penetrated the stratum corneum and deep epidermal layers in human skin samples. That is interesting, but notice what it does and does not prove. It suggests a specially engineered collagen system may go beyond a simple surface film, but it does not automatically prove that the average collagen cream on the shelf is getting meaningful collagen delivery deep into the dermis. So if a company says, our collagen is different, that does not automatically mean the claim is nonsense. But it does mean you should ask 3 questions. First, is it intact collagen, hydrolyzed collagen, or a collagen peptide or tripeptide? Second, is there an actual delivery system or special engineering? And third, do they have real published data or is it mostly marketing language? Some marketing companies will do studies but not let them be published to the general population. A quick note, I may list some Amazon affiliate links below, and I may get a small commission if you click and buy anything, but it's at no extra cost to you, and it really helps support this channel. Thank you. Now let's talk about Neutrogena Collagen Bank, because this is where the conversation gets more nuanced. Here's the actual version. Neutrogena Collagen Bank does contain hydrolyzed collagen in the ingredient list, so I would not say it has no collagen. Neutrogena's official product pages list hydrolyzed collagen, bakuchiol, and acetyl dipeptide 31 amide in the moisturizer, and list acetyl dipeptide 31 amide plus hydrolyzed collagen in other collagen bank products too. But, and this is the important part, Neutrogena's own marketing does not frame the product as, we put collagen into your dermis. Their official pages emphasize their patented micropeptide technology, which they say is 2 times smaller than leading anti-aging peptides, and penetrates more than 10 surface layers deep to support collagen. They also emphasize bakuchiol and supporting skin's natural collagen. So the name Collagen Bank can easily make consumers think the hero story is direct collagen replacement, while the company's own mechanism language focuses much more on micropeptides supporting collagen. That is why I think the name is a little suggestive from a consumer communication standpoint. Not false, but definitely suggestive. Because yes, it contains hydrolyzed collagen, but the company's actual pitch centers more on supporting your collagen system than on telling you that hydrolyzed collagen itself is marching deep into your skin and rebuilding your dermis. Now let's clean up the AP31 piece, because I wanted this to be accurate. I did a separate video just on this peptide. AP31 is acetyl dipeptide 31 amide. It is not unique to revision as I had originally thought. I found it listed on multiple Neutrogena product pages, including the Collagen Bank Moisturizer, Collagen Bank SPF Moisturizer, Collagen Bank Vitamin C Glow Serum, Collagen Bank Reviving Eye Gel Cream, and Rapid Wrinkle Repair Retinol Pro Eye Cream. So for this video, AP31 is relevant because it shows that Neutrogena's formula story is partly a peptide story, not just a topical collagen story. There is also a recent Journal of Drugs and Dermatology paper on AP31 that describes it as showing anti-inflammatory and extracellular matrix building effects, including collagen and elastin-related effects, in the context of pre-aging. That makes AP31 scientifically relevant, but I would still present it as promising rather than as settled gold standard proof. And the Neutrogena products are much more affordable than the revision products. And one more honesty point. I found Neutrogena's official claim about its proprietary micropeptide technology, but I did not find an independently published peer-reviewed paper in this search validating Neutrogena's exact proprietary delivery system the way the marketing language presents it. That does not prove the claim is wrong. It just means I would present it as a company claim, not as settled independent evidence. Doesn't mean it's not true. So what is the practical takeaway? If you buy a collagen cream with plain intact collagen, think of it mostly as a moisturizer and skin smoother, not as a true collagen rebuilding treatment. If you buy a product with hydrolyzed collagen, collagen peptides, or collagen tripeptides, especially with a specialized delivery concept, then the science becomes more interesting and more nuanced. There may be a better case for superficial penetration and possibly some biologic effects, but that is still not the same as saying every collagen cream works the way the ads imply. And if your main goal is preserving collagen or boosting collagen production in a meaningful way, the stronger evidence base is still with strategies like daily sunscreen, retinoids, and other well-studied collagen-supporting approaches. Not with assuming that regular collagen cream alone is going to rebuild what time has taken away. So my verdict is this: topical collagen is not all nonsense, but intact collagen is usually too large to penetrate well enough to rebuild dermal collagen. Smaller collagen fragments and advanced delivery systems are more plausible, but they are a different category and the evidence is still evolving. And Neutrogena Collagen Bank is better understood as a collagen support story than a direct collagen replacement story, even though it does include hydrolyzed collagen in the formula. If you've ever spent good money on a collagen cream because the marketing made it sound like you were refilling your skin's collagen like a gas tank, you are not crazy. That is exactly how a lot of this is presented. But the science is more nuanced than that, and nuance matters. If this kind of myth-busting is helpful, subscribe, because I have more videos coming on ingredients that sound amazing in ads but need a reality check in real life. And if you want help figuring out what actually makes sense for your skin, check the link for my customized skincare plan. And I'll see you in the next one.